Welcome back, friends, to another episode of the Juicebox Podcast.
My name is Rosanna. My youngest is 14 and has type 1 diabetes.
If you or a loved one is newly diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and you're seeking a clear, practical perspective, check out the Bold Beginning series on the Juicebox Podcast. It's hosted by myself and Jenny Smith, an experienced diabetes educator with over 35 years of personal insight into type 1. Our series cuts through the medical jargon and delivers straightforward answers to your most pressing questions. You'll gain insight from real patients and caregivers and find practical advice to help you confidently navigate life with type 1. You can start your journey informed and empowered with the Juicebox Podcast. The Bold Beginning series and all of the collections in the Juicebox Podcast are available in your audio app and at juiceboxpodcast.com in the menu. Nothing you hear on the Juicebox Podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan or becoming bold with insulin. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is brought to you by my favorite diabetes organization, Touched by Type 1. Please take a moment to learn more about them at touchedbytype1.org on Facebook and Instagram. Touchedbytype1.org. Check out their many programs, their annual conference, awareness campaign, their D-Box program, Dancing for Diabetes. They have a dance program for local kids, a golf night, and so much more. Touchedbytype1.org. You're looking to help, or you want to see people helping people with type 1? You want touchedbytype1.org. I'm having an on-body vibe alert. This episode of the Juicebox Podcast is sponsored by Eversense 365, the only one-year wear CGM. That's one insertion and one CGM a year. One CGM, 1 year. Not every 10 or 14 days. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. This episode is sponsored by the Tandem Mobi system, which is powered by Tandem's newest algorithm, Control-IQ Plus technology. Tandem Mobi has a predictive algorithm that helps prevent highs and lows and is now available for ages 2 and up. Learn more and get started today at tandemdiabetes.com/juicebox.
My name is Rosanna. I'm a 53-year-old mother of 4. My youngest is 14 and has type 1 diabetes, and I have 6 grandchildren.
Oh, Rosanna.
Yeah.
An eclectic little mix going on over there.
Oh boy, yeah, I do.
Were you 12 when you had your first one? Or
No.
How old were you when you had your first kid?
22.
Okay. That's all fair. Well,
they are 31, 29, 20, and 14.
Second marriage?
No, same marriage.
Wow. What happened?
We thought we were done after the first 2. They were girls. We kind of built a business, and then surprise, I was pregnant, had a boy. The last one was so the boy was always like, when he was 3 or 4, was always like, I wish I had a sibling. Why do my sisters have each other and I don't have anyone? So we tried, had a miscarriage, gave up, and then at 39 got pregnant with Leaf.
You tried to get pregnant because your kid asked you to?
Yeah. I mean, I had always wanted like 6 kids, but it didn't look like it was going to work out that way. So.
Oh, you are either brave or stupid. I can't wait to find out which one while we're talking.
Both, I'm sure.
You and I are the same age. You have a 14-year-old?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me nervous.
Yes, I feel very old some days.
Oh, I can't imagine. Like, wait till that 14-year-old is like 18 and you're almost 60. Oh my God.
I know.
Oh, good luck. It's going to be awesome. Which one of those 4 has type 1, you said?
The youngest.
Oh, look at you.
Yep.
Couldn't just stop, huh? Is there other autoimmune in your family?
None. It was a complete surprise.
No thyroid or celiac, even with the grandmother.
No, I mean, I have a cousin who has celiac.
That's it though, huh?
Yeah, my mom has passed away. And I think in her past, there may have been a thyroid issue, but it was never discussed.
Was she super thin or opposite?
No, she was opposite.
Opposite. Did it hit her like out of nowhere? Was she heavier her whole life?
She was heavier most of her life. And she passed away about a year and a half ago. She had CLL, chronic lymphoma leukemia.
Oh my gosh. How old was she, in her 80s?
She was 72.
Oh, that's too young.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you her oldest?
Yes.
Yeah. Look at me doing the math. You figuring things out. Are we going to use the name of your child who has type 1?
Leaf.
Leaf.
Leif.
Okay.
Yep.
Like Leif Garrett?
Yes, like Leif Erikson, the Viking.
Does anyone remember the Leif Garrett posters on girls' rooms, bedroom walls when we were in school?
Yeah, I remember.
You do?
Yeah.
The boys had Heather Locklear or the girl from the Fall Guy.
Charlie's Angels.
Or the Charlie's Angels ones, and boys had and girls had Leif Garrett. Everybody's bedroom you walked into.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have posters.
Where are we getting $1 from, you little ingrate?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How old was he when he was diagnosed?
Just turned 14, a week after his 14th birthday.
Oh, this is very recent.
It is about 8 months.
Oh my gosh. I haven't done a very recent one in a while. Are you okay?
I am getting there. It was a wild ride. We were in the hospital for 2 months.
No, wait, hold on. All right, let's go back to the beginning. What is the first thing you noticed that made you concerned for his health?
Well, nothing. I guess that's the problem. My ex-husband and I are divorced. We've been divorced about 8 years, and he's the only minor's child. He goes back and forth weekly. Every week, one week he's with me, 1 week he's with his dad. The day before he was going to his dad's for the week, he had mentioned being thirsty. And I was like, well, you need to drink more water. Because he'd always been healthy. He was on a competitive soccer team.
Right.
We only saw the doctor when he needed a sports physical. So it didn't connect that anything was wrong.
Oh, this one's so dumb it doesn't know to drink when it's thirsty. Great.
Well, and he was drinking too much soda, I'm sure. So I'm like, you need to drink some water. So he went to his dad's. I went on a work trip. I came home, and he was going to go ahead and stay the next weekend with his dad's because he was going to have a slumber party for his birthday. But Saturday afternoon, his dad called me and said, hey, he's really sick. He's asking for you. Will you come and get him? So I went and picked him up, and he was gaunt and white. Like he had obviously lost weight.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took him, it was like Saturday afternoon, I took him straight to the urgent care near our house. And they ran strep, flu A, flu B, COVID, mono, and they did a UA.
Really?
Yes. And they said, and by this time it's after 5. And they're like, well, all these things came up negative. We still think it's strep. They did a long strep test. And they said, we won't know for a couple of days, but we're going to send you home with an antibiotic. She did mention that the UA showed high sugars and high proteins. But then she said, well, that's probably because he hasn't been eating. And we found out he'd lost 20 pounds. Yeah. And he was only 110.
I was going to say, he's 14. How big? Wait, he was 90 at that point? 90 pounds?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Now did that set off an alarm for you?
Well, yeah. At that point, I'm like, okay, this
yeah, stop running the urgent care playbook here and let's think a little closer, right?
But I'm like, okay, they know what they're doing, right?
Oh, gosh.
So I go home, I get the antibiotic and go home. And Sunday he spends all day lying on the couch watching TV, peeing, which, I didn't know anything about type 1 diabetes.
Yeah.
Didn't know what the symptoms were. So he's like now I look and I see all the symptoms during that day. Sunday night, went to sleep. He peed the bed, which he's not done since he was little. And I couldn't pick him up, and he was non-responsive to me.
Oh my gosh.
So I called his dad, who met me at the apartment, and we rushed him to the children's hospital. They immediately took him back and almost immediately told us he was in DKA. Mm-hmm. His sugars were 649. His ketones were over 80. And his pH, his blood pH was 6.7.
Oh, God.
Which I didn't know what any of those numbers meant at the time, but they told us they were not conducive with life.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to hear.
So he slipped into a coma.
Oh.
And he was in a coma for about 4 days. And you know how you watch like Grey's Anatomy or shows and they just like wake up out of a coma and they're like wide awake.
Well, they need to move this scene along. So they got to talk again.
Yeah.
Not like that. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, not like that. One day he's like responding by squeezing your hand, but he's not awake. And then it's just like he's slowly, like he's fighting through a boggy water or something to come back to consciousness. So it took him a few days.
Oh my gosh.
So
go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, don't be. Are you okay? You talking about it? I mean, it's very recent.
Yeah. I'm trying to get through it because that was not the end.
I almost cried. So I'm like, you must be really upset. And I'll tell you what got me is that, I remember being told when we got Arden there, hey, she's like 24 hours away from being in a coma. And also thinking about all the stories I've heard of people who have been diagnosed like this and not made it, you know, so. Well,
and the doctors, like the second night, one of the doctors, and they were all so good and so attentive and doing everything they could. And they didn't know what else to do. And they were running all kinds of tests because they couldn't figure out why he wasn't coming back. And I wasn't sure why they were running all the tests. To me, that was like, okay, he's in DKA and this is what happens. But I guess it doesn't always follow that. Usually when they get the sugars down, they rebound pretty quickly.
Okay.
And he didn't.
Jeez. What are they telling you 2 days into it? What are they saying?
It was kind of a wait and see. And they kept running tests and trying to figure out, different things. And one night I'm laying there because I slept in the room basically I lived in the hospital for 2 months. Yeah. And I'm quietly crying on the bed, the guest bed. And one of the doctors, a female doctor, came over and kind of crouched in front of me and put her head down for a few minutes. And then she looked at me and she was crying. She's like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm so sorry. And it's like, you could tell they were really emotional and upset about it.
Yeah. Lost as well. They weren't exactly sure what was happening either.
Yeah. And so he woke up about 4 days later and they started, the rehab and swallow tests. And because he'd had everything connected to him imaginable, dialysis, EEG, the EEGs on the head, intubated, PICC lines, you name it. So they started, dealing with all of that. He had a swallow test. He had an MRI, which showed a little bit of brain bleed. And then so he was awake for about 6 or 7 days as they're trying to get everything back in order. And then one night, something happened and he started thrashing. They thought he had a stroke. They weren't sure why. I mean, they were giving him drugs. Like one night they were giving him fentanyl. And I was like, what are you like? Because I deal with fentanyl every day. I'm like, this is not good. And they were like, no, this is medical. That's okay.
Can I ask you, are you on your own at that? Because the way you described your life right up until you said you were divorced, I never would have expected you to be divorced. Like 4 kids, married that long, I was like, they're going to be stuck with each other forever. When that got introduced, I was like, oh gosh. And now you're in there. Like, do you and your ex reconcile enough to be together during this? Like, maybe you have that agreement already.
He was there the entire time, along with his girlfriend.
Awesome.
So that's a total other trauma that we won't discuss.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have to dig deep into it, but 4 kids, a marriage this long, he did something wrong, right?
Yeah. The easy answer is midlife crisis.
Gotcha. You smell it a mile away. So it's just you, your ex, and his girlfriend hanging out in your son's hospital room who's in a coma.
And the 3 older kids were in there off and on.
Okay. Is there a conversation that's had out loud? Like, do you say, we don't know if he's going to live through this or not? Or how do you manage that unknown time? This episode is sponsored by Tandem Diabetes Care. And today I'm going to tell you about Tandem's newest pump and algorithm. The Tandem Mobi system with Control-IQ Plus technology features auto bolus, which can cover missed meal boluses and help prevent hyperglycemia. It has a dedicated sleep activity setting and is controlled from your personal iPhone. Tandem will help you to check your benefits today through my link, tandemdiabetes.com/juicebox. This is going to help you to get started with Tandem's smallest pump yet, that's powered by its best algorithm ever. Control-IQ Plus technology helps to keep blood sugars in range by predicting glucose levels 30 minutes ahead, and it adjusts insulin accordingly. You can wear the Tandem Mobi in a number of ways. Wear it on body with a patch-like adhesive sleeve that is sold separately, clip it discreetly to your clothing, or slip it into your pocket. Head now to my link, tandemdiabetes.com/juicebox to check out your benefits and get started today. Today's episode is sponsored by a long-term CGM that's going to help you to stay on top of your glucose readings, the Eversense 365. I'm talking, of course, about the world's first and only CGM that lasts for 1 year. 1 year, one CGM. Are you tired of those other CGMs? The ones that give you all those problems that you didn't expect? Knocking them off, false alerts, not lasting as long as they're supposed to? If you're tired of those constant frustrations, use my link, eversensecgm.com/juicebox to learn more about the Eversense 365. Some of you may be able to experience the Eversense 365 for as low as $199 for a full year. At my link, you'll find those details and can learn about eligibility. eversensecgm.com/juicebox. Check it out.
There was a lot of just kind of discussion on what ifs, because it wasn't just that, like when he woke up, it wasn't just, is he going to live? It's also, they had no idea what kind of neurological deficits he would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and then after he had a stroke, which later they determined is something else, but he went back into a coma.
So the thrashing led back to the coma.
Yeah, something his blood pressure went too high.
Oh, God. Okay.
So by this time he'd been on constant dialysis for 2 weeks, and that was as long as they could do it for. And so they sent us to another city. They life flighted him, and we drove to another city to have a different kind of dialysis. And once we got there, his doctor there took all of his records home to try to figure out what was going on, and came back and said that she believed he had PRES, which is pulmonary rehabilitative encephalopathy syndrome.
Okay. And this is as a result of the DKA or in addition?
They think so, yes.
Okay.
And then his blood pressure skyrocketing.
Okay.
And he had a hemorrhage in his occipital lobe. We were there for about 3 weeks. He got out of the PICU, went to a regular ward. We had our diabetes education. He was in therapy. And then we were moved to an inpatient rehab at Bethany, or in town.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed there for 3 weeks. And just once he woke up from that, he just progressed really quickly, much, much quicker than they thought he would. They really thought there would be more neurological issues.
That's what the swallow test is for, right? It's looking for early neurological issues.
Yes, and to see if he can swallow anything without aspirating, because he'd been intubated and had a feeding tube most of the time.
So even though he comes out of this, I mean, and that's obviously good news, you're still unsure of his path after that. Okay.
Right. And in the end, it ended up being they were worried about his peripheral vision, and he has foot drop.
Okay.
After we came home, we were still in therapy for those things. He still has about a 20% foot drop, but he's walking and even running. I mean, he kind of, if he's not thinking about it, he kind of walks on the balls of his feet.
So for people who don't know, is that where you take a step and your foot kind of doesn't come along with you? No, or what is that?
I think if it's more severe, yes. It's just he doesn't walk with a heel-toe strike.
Okay.
His feet are always more pointed than they should be.
And is this going to be forever, or is it a thing they can help him with?
Well, rehab finally got to a point where they said they didn't think it was going to help. Rehab was going to help anymore. So now we're looking at possible neuromuscular doctors or Botox therapy.
Okay. With some hindsight, let me take you out of this moment for a second.
Yeah.
Take you back, because before you die, I'm like, she's just going to explode and start crying.
If only that was the end of it.
No, I know. I want to give you a pause because, and I'm a little embarrassed, but as I logged on here, I thought people listen. You might not listen much, but for people who listen, they know, I'm kind of proud that I don't prep for the episodes. Like I find my way through the conversation with people, and I think that's what makes it interesting. Okay. Except when I logged on today, I did think wonder how this lady got a hold of a VIP link. And I'm like, I'll figure it out. And then as you're talking, I thought, oh God, you put the post up in the Facebook group. Right? And then people said you should be on the podcast. You're that person, right?
I don't know about, you asked for some After Dark people to sign up, and I sent to send you emails, and I sent you an email.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, one way or the other, until you really start telling your story, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, this is the person who's going to tell me that their kid was in DKA and in the hospital for 2 months. So
Yeah.
being my dumb self, like in the beginning, trying to loosen you up to get ready for the podcast. And as you're talking, I was like, oh, geez.
That's okay.
No, and now I'm hearing you struggling. And I just thought, like, let's break for a second. So with some hindsight, how long were his symptoms active before you ended up in the hospital?
As far as actual symptoms, other than the thirst, I don't really remember anything. Looking back now, I remember throughout the school year, he would call me and say his stomach hurt after lunch. And in my mind, it was because he was bored and didn't want to be at school.
You thought he was trying to get out of school.
I mean, he's the fourth kid. By this time, I've heard it all.
He's also like, I could push this lady around. She's old and she ain't got the energy for this anymore.
But now I wonder.
What was that distance though? That stomach pain to the diagnosis? How long had that happened?
It had been months.
Months. Okay. And then the thirst?
The thirst was the first thing that I could look back and say, hey, and that was only a week and a half before.
Okay. Please don't. But I imagine you are. But please don't beat yourself up over it. But are you beating yourself up over this?
No, at first I was beating myself up over believing urgent care and taking him home for 36 hours. But after reading all of the posts and listening to your podcast, I mean,
it really is just kind of what happens. Yeah. I mean, because it does seem like from a outsider's perspective, who's not been dealing with all this stuff for their whole life, it seems insane that urgent care could miss what you're describing happened 36 hours later. You know what I mean? Right. Like it does seem insane, but at the same time, I don't know, they probably.
So once I got to the hospital and we were settled in, I looked at the paperwork that urgent care sent me home with, and it said, well, I didn't have it with me. That was the deal. I didn't have my paperwork with me. So I called urgent care and the receptionist was new. And I said, hey, I don't have my paperwork from Saturday. Can you email it to me? He said, well, I don't know. Well, he figured it out and he sent it to me. And this paperwork, as opposed to the paperwork I got sent home with that I remember reading, that paperwork said blood sugars high, proteins high, no numbers. It just said high.
High.
Well, the paperwork he emailed me had numbers.
Okay.
And was in bright red. So I'm like, why didn't somebody see this?
I mean, even high, a blood sugar that's high on I mean, let's guess it's over 400, maybe over 500, right? Well,
the numbers that they sent me said 500 plus, because that's as high as their thing tests for. And proteins were 80 plus.
You just have to you do have to wonder. I don't want to get into the blame game, but you do have to wonder, I mean, they don't see any 500 plus blood sugars from people just because they're sick.
Right.
That can't be the case, especially a little 14-year-old kid.
And it was an NP, and I think that it was near closing time.
Oh, you can eat Buffalo Wild Wings up the street. Maybe we needed to get going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does Buffalo Wild Wings do all you can eat? I don't know. Oh my God. So, okay. So you're not alone.
No.
Listen, just real quick. The girlfriend's not way younger than you, is she?
I think she might be about 8 to 10 years younger than me.
Jeez, I'm sorry. It all sucks.
Not as much of an age gap as the girlfriend he had before that. So.
Oh, okay. At least he brought the one he found at the gym, not the one he found at the club. Is that what you're saying? Gee, I'm so sorry.
They both worked for him, so.
Oh, geez. Well, it's a good collection system. Are you still in business with him?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah. You made him buy you out, I imagine?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay. Wow. You've had quite a decade. Are you okay to move forward now? I stopped you so you could collect yourself and say some stupid so you could relax. You want to keep telling the story now, please do.
Yeah, sure. So we've been home since December 6th, and he's doing really well. His diabetes is probably has been up to this point, the least of his problems. I mean, as we're healing from all the other stuff. Even now, he's within range about 95% of the time.
Awesome.
Yeah. And he just got a Tandem Mobi Monday.
Is he liking it?
He is. Good. And he's been doing really well, keeping everything in range.
Awesome. That's great. tandemdiabetes.com/juicebox.
We tried to get the Omnipod and our insurance was like, yeah, you're going to have to pay out of pocket till you reach your out of pocket max every year.
Okay.
And we're like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Okay. Omnipod.com/juicebox. Use the links. Support the show.
Yeah.
Let's move on, though. If diabetes is the least of his issues, what are his issues?
I mean, he'd still like to play competitive soccer again. So getting his foot issue is probably the biggest thing right now.
Mm-hmm. But that's physically. Like, is he struggling psychologically by being waylaid like this?
He asked a lot of questions at first. We have a scrapbook because he wanted to know, he wanted to see it all. He also firmly believes that he's a miracle.
Being alive. Being alive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And there was a whole thing centered around Ezekiel 37, which is a scripture about dry bones coming alive, which is his favorite song.
He doesn't feel like this was all purposeless.
No. And he's kind of a typical youngest child where, he's enjoying the attention.
It's like, finally someone's paying attention. I had to get this foot drop and diabetes and be in a coma, but they really are looking at Leaf now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he would have taken it a different way.
Yes.
So neurologically, all okay?
Seems to be. He missed a whole quarter of school.
Yeah.
And then when he went back, it was for half days because he was going to therapy in the morning. So they dropped his math, which was his favorite subject. They dropped him from algebra down to pre-algebra, which he'd already taken. So that was one thing they were worried about, was his math. Whatever part of your brain does math.
Really? Oh, that was a health decision, not a school decision.
Well, it was a school decision, but we're just kind of waiting and seeing how that comes back.
Is he having difficulty with mathematics?
He doesn't think so. So we're going to wait and see how next school year goes.
Do you notice anything different about him? Like intellectually, or how quick he is, a sense of humor, stuff like that?
I think his peripheral vision still has a deficit, and that kind of makes a difference kind of in how he does things.
Yeah.
Other than that, not really. He still has a really close-knit group of friends. He still plays video games. He's just not playing soccer right now.
Did the doctors give you any indication of why they thought this became so severe?
No, they still don't know.
And do they have a feeling for how long he was without as much insulin as he needed before?
No. We went back to the hospital here in town and took a basket for the nurses. And they were all very happy to see him. And several of the nurses said that he was one of the worst cases that they had had. Yeah. And they were very, very happy to see him.
Happy to see him, meaning they're a little stunned he's alive and doing okay.
Yeah. Walking around and smiling and joking.
How does that make you feel? Like, does that make you feel lucky, or does it make you mad? I don't know how I'm wondering.
It makes me feel blessed, I think. Just that he is still alive.
Yeah. It's so random, right? Like it feels like a car accident almost, like in its randomness. How did the other three kids, I know some of them are much older, but like how did they handle like going through all this? Did everybody do it differently?
They were all pretty emotional about it. My 20-year-old son, Joel, he got a tattoo for his brother. Oh, I
was going to say depicting the event, or like...
It says Ezekiel 37.
That makes more sense than my idea. Yeah.
So, and his older sister spent a lot of time with us, came to the city and stayed with me some nights. And the second sister has 4 children and was pregnant. Oh, gosh.
She didn't have any space for any of that, huh? Probably.
No. So she came when she could, but...
That is interesting, right? Am I remembering right that is she 33?
She's 29.
29.
So you're 20. She's my second one.
You're 29. Okay, but the oldest one's 33, right?
She's 31. Yep.
I was going to give myself credit for remembering that number randomly, but okay. But your 29-year-old has 4 kids. Was pregnant with the 4th during this happening.
She's pregnant with the 5th.
The 5th.
Yeah.
Are you guys are you building an army for the Lord? What's going on over there?
Kind of, I guess. Her husband is second of 7.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And he was homeschooled and she was homeschooled. And
I'm not talking to you from Utah, right?
No.
Okay.
We're not the denim jumper kind of homeschoolers.
I don't know what that means, but I'm sure those people are offended and everybody else is laughing. Wow, that really is life altering, isn't it? Like do you feel like life's the same thing as it used to be?
No, but that wasn't the end of the trauma. So
wait. All right, I'll write my question down and then you keep going. Give me the rest. So
about a month after we came home, I had just bought a house. In fact, just closed on it on that day. And later that evening, my daughter, who was 39 weeks pregnant, she was planning to have a home birth with the midwife, and she had a placental abruption.
I don't think I can handle your life anymore, Rosanna.
I know, see? And they live about 30 miles south of town, so about 45 minutes from the hospital. And they called me. I was just leaving work. It was rush hour traffic. And I said, I'll meet you there. I'll get the other kids. And so I met them at the hospital. They pulled up right behind me. Like he said, he literally put the cruise control on 100, put the blinkers on, and drove on the shoulder. I don't know how he made it without stopping or without getting stopped, but he did. I took the kids and parked and cleaned up the van because it was not good. Kids were pretty traumatized.
Were they in the car for the 100 mile an hour? Are you just here to say speeding is okay? Is that what you're saying?
No, I was pretty traumatized about that, but she had passed out on the way.
Whoa, my God.
He was pretty shaken.
Jeez, you are going to make me cry, Rosanna. Jesus, God. So this guy who's not 30, probably maybe all of like 30 years old, maybe, is in a car with his pregnant wife and his 4 kids, and she loses consciousness?
Yes.
Dear, jeez. Oh, okay. All right. So what happens? Is she okay?
She had an emergency C-section. She's okay. I think they had to give her, I'm trying to remember if they had to give her a blood transfusion. I think they did, but she was okay. They, kicked her out 48 hours later.
Really? They're like, okay, well, get out.
Yeah,
that's all.
Typical. Baby was born with a hard knot in his umbilical cord.
Oh.
And they did not know how long he had been without oxygen.
How long ago is this now?
Mid-January.
And how was the baby?
He spent a month in the NICU, the first 72 hours on a cooling pad, which very few hospitals have, but lucky enough, Children's Hospital here had one. They still were like, we don't know what kind of neurological deficits he's going to have. Like basically I go to the hospital room and it looks almost identical to my son's. It's 2 floors lower and it's a smaller bed. He's got all the things hooked up to him, EEGs, and he's tiny. He's got a bunch of dark hair, just all over his head. For a while, he had a feeding tube and they didn't think that he would be able to swallow or eat on his own. But that went away. They didn't think he'd ever be able to breastfeed. He did. He is at home now, progressing. He's still, I think they say, neurologically behind, not rolling over yet. He's about 4 months old.
How long does it take to get a real assessment? How old does he have to be before they can start figuring out what has or hasn't happened?
I don't know. When with Leaf, they told us that any kind of brain bleed or brain tears, it could take up to a year to heal. And so they told us to wait a year before we really start
trying to assess what happened.
Right.
I hope this wasn't too upsetting to your ex-husband's girlfriend. Sorry. She wasn't there too, right?
No, not this time.
Okay. I don't know how you don't know, by the way, not to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a whole thing.
I can't imagine it wasn't. Just wait in the waiting room. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, no. Oh, my goodness. Well, has any other horrible things happened to any people you love?
No, please, no.
No? Yeah, you're like, I mean, it's funny now, like, I go back to the beginning of our conversation where I just thought you were telling me that your son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 8 months ago, and I said you're okay. But now I'm going to ask you much differently because I think it's possible the answer is no, Scott, I'm not. But are you okay?
Most days, I'm getting there. I probably should see a therapist, but I'm out of money and I have no time. So
let's forget everybody else for a second and just think about you for a second.
Uh-huh.
What's the journey you've been on? Like, forget the nuts and bolts of it. How have you felt and how have you gotten through how you felt and what has it led to?
Definitely traumatized. My personality is such that I'm always anxious and always looking for how the next shoe is going to drop, basically what's going to go wrong. Obviously, this is something I'd never imagined. So no matter how much you worry, it always ends up being something you didn't worry about. Mm-hmm. A lot of, kind of depression, maybe, of just trying to handle being alone. And his dad stepped up and has really helped. And he still goes, week on, week off to his dad's house, which gives both of us a break, basically.
Right.
But yeah, just handling it alone and financially.
Oh my God. How much, what can you tell me? What was the bill?
Obviously, they have their bill. The insurance has what they're going to pay. And then we had our out-of-pocket max, which I have pretty good insurance through my work. So our out-of-pocket max was $8,700.
Still a lot of money, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the pre-insurance bill, the bill the hospital?
It was very close to $2 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. And the insurance company, like, what do? They pay half of it?
Oh, I think it was less than half.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like $750,000.
Okay. And then you get to pay can you imagine? What do they need your $8,000 for? Like if 700, you know what I mean? Like if 750,000 was a good number for them, what do they need your $8,000 for? What are they doing with that? Buying a cooling pad? I don't think so. Because only one hospital has one. Oh my God. Okay. So you feel like you've been depressed?
Definitely struggled with that for a few months. And I've struggled not clinically, like I've never seen a therapist. And I always kind of have, when I start feeling that way, I have steps, I guess, to get myself out of it, if that makes sense.
Is it wrapped around your anxiety that something else is going to happen?
Oh, yeah. But I think this definitely like proved to me that things are going to happen whether I worry or not.
Prior to your son's illness coming on, had there been a lot of health issues at all to deal with over the previous years?
Nope.
No.
None of my kids have been sick or unhealthy. In fact, Leaf was really the only, he had broken his collarbone before. He'd actually broken it twice. They had to break his collarbone to get him out of me. He was a very big child.
Sorry. I mean, honestly, did you say just leave him in? It's all right. Like
I was like, I changed my mind.
He can live in there. I didn't know all this was going to happen. But point being is that you've made your fair share of babies. Your daughter's making them probably. I mean, it sounds like everybody's pretty fertile. So there's a lot of kids going on and and no one's been sick. And then all of a sudden you're 53 and your son is like being life flighted and is in a coma.
Yeah.
And then before you can look up, your daughter's almost losing her life and a baby in a pregnancy. Yeah.
And it feels like, so I live in Oklahoma in the middle of Tornado Alley. And it feels like it's just, kind of a normal day. And all of a sudden tornadoes come through, lift your house, drop it back down. And you're just supposed to get up the next morning and go back to work.
Yeah. And that's what you've been doing?
Yep.
But you think maybe you should talk to somebody?
I don't know.
Rosanna, you probably should. Let me just say that. There are days you wake up and you like, is it dread? Or do you feel like, oh no, here it comes? And then something bad's going to happen today. And then you have to talk yourself out of it?
No, the anxiety has pretty much, I think for now I've kind of licked that. Being 53 and looking at the rest of my life as being alone and having to get up every day and go to work and take care of everything by myself.
You feel lonely. Yeah. Well, you should start your own business and then start dating the men that work for you. I think that sounds like it works. I hear that works. Do you try to date? Do you try to go meet people?
I haven't dated in 4 years. I did before that. In fact, in 2019, I went on 10 first dates.
Oh, and then what happened? COVID?
I actually got married and COVID hit. I got married during COVID. I think because I thought the end of the world was coming or something. I'm not sure. And I needed major surgery and he was there and being helpful. And then he lost his job and turned out that he was a raging alcoholic and decided to start stealing things from me and pawning them.
Rosanna, listen, I need you just to, I don't know what I need you to do. Hold on a second. It's not often people come on here with so many problems that I'm like, have you tried drinking? You would
not know to look at me. I'm like very
feel together,
chill, calm.
So you took a shot with some guy and then he wasn't all he purported to be. How long were you with him before you married him?
A little over 6 months.
Yeah, that's not long enough. Was he your age?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I only knew my first husband 6 months before we.
And then how long were you married to him for, though?
23 years.
Yeah. So you thought, oh, this is how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not how it works. I'm sorry to ask you like this way. Do you feel lonely like intellectually or do you feel lonely physically?
Probably both.
I mean, the kids just bang. They use the apps and then they have sex. You could cover half of this that way if you wanted to.
Right.
Swipe. You show up somewhere. I think you do. You're not up for that?
After all this, I'm feeling very old and frumpy. Like I'm in my Nana years,
you're 53. I don't think that's true. I don't think you're Nana yet. Like, I mean, just because that kid got out there and started working early doesn't mean that you're like a grandmom.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the guys my age are looking for younger women, and they can get them.
Really? How do they do that?
I mean, there's a lot of single women.
So they're out there fishing for girls with daddy issues, and you're like, could you go older? Could you go to 60?
I mean, possibly.
You know what I mean? Like a spry 60-year-old guy?
Yeah.
Right? They got meds now. Like if need be. I mean, listen, it's a difficult situation. I don't say otherwise. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting here joking with you, but I don't think I could date. Like that seems ridiculous.
No, it's not fun.
Yeah.
I'm not a looker. I'm not someone you would look at twice.
Roseanne,
I mean, you have to get to know me before you decide you like me.
Roseanne, I'm sure that's not true. But so you're worried that you're not visually appealing enough to like do the quick dating thing?
Yeah.
So you worry guys are going to reach to you just for sex?
I don't even think they're interested in that.
I don't know. You've never been a guy. So
I mean, after the last two, I think they're mostly interested in somebody to take care of them.
Oh, you end up finding guys who are like near to wells and need help.
Yeah, I mean, they need somebody to cook and clean and pay for. With the second one, it was pay for things, but yeah.
I can't imagine. Was he your age?
Yeah.
He's looking for you to pay the bills?
Yeah. I mean, he's since married again and living with his parents.
Was that his third marriage?
Yeah.
See, he married you, left you, married another woman, is in his 50s, married a third time, living with his parents.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Is it that bad out there? That's upsetting. I mean, he should be embarrassed.
And maybe it's just where I live. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, can you move?
Well, not now that I have, children and grandchildren.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the kids.
No, they're all here.
Well, you should be depressed. I guess it's, I guess I don't want to argue with you about it. But I think you should talk to somebody about it, though.
Someday I'm going to chuck it all and move to London. So.
Really? Is that chuck it all? You're all on your own. Go f yourselves. I'm out of here. Send pictures if you want, but don't feel pressured. Is that a dream of yours to live there?
Oh, yeah. I got to go for the first time last year, and it was everything I thought it would be.
Why don't you and Leaf go?
Well, it's expensive.
Is it? I don't know. I've never been there. I think it's fancy that you got to go at all.
I'm a huge history. Like I've read history since I was a kid, and I know I'm a Anglophile. I know so much about English history.
Right, and that'd be a good place for you to eat. Well, can you guys go explore for a while, or go live there? Or
I'm hoping someday when I've recovered from this.
What do you think that looks like, being recovered from this?
I kind of have a 5-year plan of just trying to get out of debt and get physically back to where I can, go and do fun stuff. And by then, Leaf will graduate high school and I'll have some more freedom.
Okay. Getting out of debt, is that from the medical stuff?
I wish I could say it was, but it's not.
Is it from your crack addiction?
No, it's from going to London last year.
Oh.
And also I've written 3 books and self-published and paid for my dream that turns out I'm not very good at marketing.
Well, you should have come and found me, Roseanne. I would have told you that that's not going to work. I had a publisher and it's impossible to move.
Yeah.
It's impossible to move books. Like it's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking at you here and you're not giving yourself enough credit for how you look. So I decided to find you on the thing. You're fine. Don't worry about it. That I wouldn't worry about that one time if I was you. How much does it cost to self-publish a book?
Well, the last time around, I figured out that I could put it on Amazon and I wouldn't have to pay up front. But the first 2 times I sent it to some place where you could pay for copies and then sell them on your own.
Okay.
So, and then, writing it,
You have a lot of copies of your book? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, no, I have a couple boxes.
Yeah.
I also paid for an editor and I paid for an illustrator because one of the books I wrote was a children's book.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think it's a good book?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just can't, like, there's no way to get people to notice it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to be really into social media and have a lot of followers.
Yeah. Listen, I have a lot of followers and it's still hard to make people notice stuff. So
Yeah.
you're at the whim of the platforms, generally speaking.
That's okay. Lesson learned. I went after my dream. I'm proud of myself for doing that. Now I just have to pay for it.
I would give that book as gifts at every gift giving occasion for the rest of my life.
Anytime somebody has a baby, it's like, here's a book.
I'd be like, hey, congratulations, Mazel Tov. Here's a book. It's signed. I would tell them.
The funny thing is, the children's book is at my local library. I took it there, and it gets checked out all the time.
People like
always
it.
Checked out. Yeah. And the library, in fact, said they have 2 copies now.
Not nice.
So they'll check it out. They just won't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough road. I'll share a story with you that you're going to say, well, it would have been nice, Scott, if you shared this with me before I self-published my book. While I was writing my book, which is now over, a long time ago, 2013, right? Yeah. I had a daily relationship with my publisher. We talked all the time. And I'd pick around and like ask questions. And I one time said, like, are people always bothering you with their book ideas? And she laughed and she's like, constantly. Like, do you know what the worst ones are? And I was like, what's that? She goes, the people who think they have a good idea for a children's book. And I was like, oh yeah. She goes, everybody thinks they have a children's book. And I was like, okay. And she goes, and don't get me wrong. She's like, some of them do. And she's like, but a lot of them don't.
Oh, I've read some. And I'm like, and that's what kind of pushed me into going ahead and publishing mine. Because I was like, if they can get theirs out in the store, surely
you could.
Yes.
Can you do something like, honestly, could you go to a local bookstore and tell them you'd like to, like, look, I want to put an author event here one evening and I can bring in a certain amount of people? And like, could you do that? Could you invite 20, 30 people to come?
I've done book signings here in town, sold a few books. My biggest problem is I am very much an introvert and I feel very awkward saying, here, please buy my book.
So you're going to find this next little thing interesting then. After I got my book written and I was out, pushing it, which is the only way to talk about what you're doing. You're just out there, like, just trying to make anybody aware of it. I finished up an interview one day and the publisher called me and they were like, that was so good. And I said, thank you. I was like, why do you seem like surprised that I did a good job with the interview? And she goes, I think it's just because authors are terrible at talking usually.
That's why we write.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She said, you're clearly not really I'm not a writer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a book author. And she's like, but on this part of it, you're way better at this part of it. She's like, significantly better. They just go out there and they sit and they wait for questions. Nobody asks them a question and they sit there. Have you ever heard me tell that story about the book fair I went to one time?
I think I did. Yeah. You were talking. Yeah.
Yeah. I was stunned. I looked around the room and I was like, do all these people think someone's just going to walk up to them and magically buy this book? Like, I was out in front of the table, handful of books. I was like, hey, check this out. I sold all those books. I was out of there by like lunch. And
see,
that's what if you're not doing that, there's no way.
I'm just always so awkward.
Well, I don't know. You're doing a good job of this. Why do you think
you're leading? You're asking me questions.
I know I really am the secret to this whole thing, but that's not the point.
I know.
The point is that people should. I never do this, but if you send me the link to your book, I'll put it in the show notes of the podcast player.
It doesn't have anything to do with diabetes, although maybe I need to write a book. I don't know.
I don't care. Okay, I don't know what it's about. I don't care what it's about. I don't even care if it's good. What do you think of that? But if you send me a link to where people can buy it, I will put it in the show notes of the podcast player because, by the way, let me just say this out loud. No one else try that. Like, don't. I am not doing. I already turned down 10 emails a day from people like, I just want to come on and talk to people about my app idea or my business idea. They're like, oh, shut up. Leave me alone. Right. Leave me alone. So, but for you, Rosanna, because of everything you've been through.
This is my poor, pitiful time.
Because of the luck you and your family have, we're going to see if some people might not buy this book. What is the book about?
The children's book?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. I'm terrible at describing it. So it is, and I wrote it when my oldest daughter was a baby.
Okay.
It's about the life of a rock.
Like a pet rock?
It's called Stone's Story. And it's about a rock that's in a creek and he gets kicked out of the creek. And over the years, he gets kicked and damaged and thrown through a window, and then at some point thrown in the trash. And then somebody digs him out of the trash and cleans him up and puts him in a special place in the wall of that's being built. And he's a shiny jewel.
Nice. And what does that mean to you? Is that something you feel like happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a kind of a parable, I guess, or an allegory, whatever you call that, but of how people sometimes feel, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody has a good opportunity to be a part of that wall. Like, you know, what do you need? You need somebody around you that cares a little bit. You need a little bit of self-confidence. Maybe that's where you're, you know, where you could start for yourself, like along the road here. Like, you know, people have been through some hard things. You've supported them and done a great job of being somebody's mom a number of times, right? You know, you tried to be a good wife, and just because the person on the other side of that doesn't receive it that way doesn't mean you didn't do well at it. You know, even the second guy who took advantage, like you were earnest with him, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right. I'd get out there and do it again. I'm not kidding. Rosanna, like, what's the alternative?
Just a glutton for punishment.
No, but what's the alternative? Now that you know this is how it could go, anything better than this is going to be a win. So your bar is super low. So that's awesome. And the other, seriously, you can't get let down really if somebody has sold your belongings. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's not good. He didn't sell them for meth, did he?
Life does not sound that bad in my head. The way you're talking.
Well, I'm trying to be funny. But my point here is that, like, you know, I'd say get out there and try again. Now, you know, maybe put up a little more of a wall. Let's not marry anybody 6 months in. But, you know,
I thought the world was ending.
I hear what you're saying. In the moment, it felt like, I felt like it was ending to me too. I'm not gonna lie.
I rationally knew that. I think it was just, you know, emotionally, because I was also staring down. I needed a full hysterectomy surgery and I had no one to help me. You maybe did a little of like, if I'm married, this will be easier. You know, and then the whole COVID thing, and I got laid off, and then I was working from home, and it was just, he was there and he was helpful and he was nice.
Well, listen, put that right on your profile. Hysterectomy, can't get pregnant. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm 53. I don't think I could have anyway at this point, but
we're going to be telling them you're 43 in the profile. So you got to jazz this up a little bit. You know what I mean? Same thing you got to do with the book when you're selling it.
Yeah.
Did you say it was about a rock or a stone?
A stone. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Don't say rock. Stone's better. Is it shiny, the stone?
Well, not to begin with.
No, but at the end, it's shiny.
After
right?
It's been through everything, it is.
Yeah, like a tumbler of life.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Do you not see this as your path too? Why can't you actually be that shiny stone?
It could be. Just waiting for somebody to find me.
What would have to happen for you to end up in that wall nice and shiny?
I guess somebody coming along that actually saw me for me.
Yeah.
And not for what I could do for them.
That'd be a damn good start, wouldn't it? Well, Let me say this, Rosanna, you're not going to meet those people in your apartment. They're not, I mean, look, unless there's
at work.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to meet them at work.
You said, I think before we started recording, you said you work with, how did you put it? Tell me what you said again.
Criminals and lawyers.
She's like, I work with criminals and lawyers, and often, what'd you say?
The lawyers are worse than the criminals.
The lawyers are worse than the criminals. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, for you specifically, let's not date at work. I think that's an obvious one. Especially like, I probably want to avoid cops too, older cops, right?
Yeah.
No disrespect to older cops, but you all know what I mean. You're a little jaded by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So what do we do? Like, I don't even know how to do this. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, if I had to go meet somebody right now, I swear I don't know what to do. But can I say this?
Mm-hmm.
Last summer, my wife went away for business. My kids they didn't live here. No, I was by myself is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to see that first Mission Impossible movie of the two-parter that ends the series. The second part's out now. I wanted to see the first part. Nobody went with me. I went to a theater. I went out one night. I made the podcast. I did my business, what I was supposed to do, And I went out to a movie, and I'm sitting there watching a movie. I am by myself. There's probably 10 people in there. Not many at all. Movie ends. Lady in front of me turns around, looks. She goes, boy, I really love that. I said, I did too. And we started chatting a little bit. She's a lovely woman, probably a little younger than me. She kept chatting with me as we walked out. She stopped me in the parking lot to talk again. And I thought, I could get this lady. And she was being very friendly and she was lovely. And of course, me being married and that I wasn't there looking for a date slowed down the whole thing. I said to her, it was really nice to meet her, and I left and she went on her way. But we could have kept talking. Like if I would have said to her, let me just be clear, if I wasn't married, I could have said to her, we should go sit down somewhere and get a drink and talk. We would have gone. Now, I don't know how that would have ended. Maybe with her selling my belongings. I don't know exactly. I got to tell you, like, I didn't expect that. And there it was. So maybe you just got to keep putting yourself out there until something fires off, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this woman obviously had more confidence than I do.
I don't know about that. I think we were just caught up in we enjoyed the movie and we started talking to each other.
Yeah.
If she's listening, really pretty Indian lady in her 40s. I wasn't married. I definitely would have asked you out. We were having a good time. So, and all it was is that we had like a mutual like interest at the moment. Mm-hmm. It was enough to start talking about. Now, don't go picking other people who have self-published their books, because then we're going to find more introverted people and you guys are just going to sit still and not talk.
Well, and everything I like is an introverted thing.
Well, there's a good point. What are some of the things you enjoy doing?
I love history.
Okay.
I love museums and antique stores, and I do genealogy. I go to cemeteries.
Well, these seem like things other people like to do. Why don't you, like, that's awesome. Like, I mean, can't you find somebody else who enjoys, like, I mean, let's start cheaper, like going to cemeteries, do that. And then find somebody that wants to travel and go see other stuff. And like, I mean, people love history. There's got to be men who enjoy that too.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be like, it could be friendly at first. Because you said you want people to get to know you, right?
Yeah.
Rosanna, this is a done deal. I think this is easy. Let's get this accomplished. Don't do it through Facebook.
I feel like I just sat through a therapy session, though.
Do you feel good? Good enough to send me a copay?
No, but I'll send you a link to my book.
Awesome. You're not even going to offer me a free book? Fine. That's fine. Well, I'm glad that this felt good. Do you feel better now?
Yeah. I'm obviously going to sit back and be worried about all the stuff I said, but...
Really?
No.
Do not worry about anything.
I don't know anyone in my personal life. Listen.
Well, that's upsetting to me. I wish everybody listened. No,
I try. Believe me.
You get it out there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate that very much. Oh, I didn't even ask you, but has it been valuable for you with your son's diabetes?
Oh yeah. Like right away, I found the Facebook page, and then I think her name is Nico. I asked a question. She posted a series, Bold Beginnings, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I listened to all of those, and then I've been listening to Defining
Diabetes, going through different terms so you can understand what they mean.
And then also I listen to like the new ones as they come out.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that very much. I do. And you've probably just made it so that Rob will drop the Bold Beginnings trailer right after you stop talking.
It was a very good one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's a series, a lot of people seem to find that it's helpful getting going.
And, I mean, reading Facebook posts on the group, I think we had a special understanding of diabetes because we actually went through diabetes education 3 times.
How so?
Once at the hospital in the city, and then once at the rehab. And then when we came back, our endocrinologist made us go through education, like a 5-part education series.
Okay. Wow.
So we got the same thing 3 times.
And was that helpful, or was the Bold Beginnings still additive for you?
The Bold Beginnings was definitely helped fill in, like, this is what we can really do, you know?
Oh, okay. Took you from maybe more basic ideas to something a little deeper.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad. And I'm glad he's doing well. That's awesome. I hope he gets back to playing soccer. That would be, I mean, I hate soccer, but if he likes it, I'm okay with it. And by the way, hate's a strong word. I just don't understand it. It seems like track and field without purpose.
It's a lot of running.
A lot of running, not a lot of scoring. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, those of you who love it, I'm not saying you shouldn't love it. Continue on. And please stop sending emails saying, stop talking badly about soccer, because that happens a lot. And I just don't like soccer. It's no shade. It was really nice of you to share this. I know that was a really difficult thing to talk about. And then you talked about some personal stuff, which was really kind of you. I'm sure you are not nearly the only person living through, being still young and viable, but feeling older. And, listen, we didn't really say it out loud, but what you're thinking and didn't say is that, like, people my age, the good ones are probably taken.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of picking through the others to find the ones that are left, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, but if you don't pick, you won't find it. I guarantee there are good people out there.
Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah. And if not, you can always use male escorts. There's nothing wrong with that. Do they exist in
I
Oklahoma?
don't know.
Have you actually like lived through a hurricane, like a tornado?
I mean, not one that's actually hit me, but gone overhead and I heard it. I mean, I've been here most of my life, so they're always close.
Frightening on a scale of 1 to 10.
I don't get frightened by those kinds of things.
Interesting.
But definitely, I mean, sounded like a train coming.
Yeah, just cruising down coming at you from like just a direction.
Yeah.
So that doesn't scare you, but you do worry about things that
can happen to my kids
that don't exist.
Yeah.
You always like that, or was that after you had babies?
After I had babies, for sure.
Yeah, it's a God's little joke there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right. Well, listen.
I mean, yeah, even the ones that are grown up and out of the house.
Oh, good news. You don't stop worrying about them? Oh,
never.
Jesus. All right. Well, this is good. I'll spend the rest of my life doing that, I guess. Rosanna, you were really nice to do this. I know this was difficult for you, so I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Hold on 1 second for me.
Okay.
The podcast episode that you just enjoyed was sponsored by Eversense CGM. They make the Eversense 365. That thing lasts a whole year. One insertion every year? Come on. You probably feel like I'm messing with you, but I'm not. EversenseCGM.com/juicebox. The podcast you just enjoyed was sponsored by Tandem Diabetes Care. Learn more about Tandem's newest automated insulin delivery system, Tandem Mobi with Control-IQ Plus technology at tandemdiabetes.com/juicebox. There are links in the show notes and links at juiceboxpodcast.com. Touched by Type 1 sponsored this episode of the Juicebox Podcast. Check them out at touchedbytype1.org on Instagram and Facebook. Give them a follow. Go check out what they're doing. They are helping people with type 1 diabetes in ways you just can't imagine. I can't thank you enough for listening. Please make sure you're subscribed or following in your audio app. I'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Juicebox Podcast. If this is your first time listening to the Juicebox Podcast and you'd like to hear more, download Apple Podcasts or Spotify, really any audio app at all. Look for the Juicebox Podcast and follow or subscribe. We put out new content every day that you'll enjoy. Want to learn more about your diabetes management? Go to juiceboxpodcast.com up in the menu and look for Bold Beginnings, the Diabetes Pro Tip series, and much more. This podcast is full of collections and series of information that will help you to live better with insulin. The episode you just heard was professionally edited by Wrong Way Recording. WrongWayRecording.com.